Every brand, whether you are a B2B or a B2C, at the end there is this customer who feels the moment of truth. Everything you're working on impacts that life of that person. You being aware of that customer, seeing who that person is, feeling, and then being that person is very important for you to make an impact. Growing up, my grandma taught me this whole concept of karma. Karma is about actions. Actions that you take responsibility for. Actions are what you control. Sometimes we get confused and look at karma to be transactional. Sometimes we look at karma as if you do good things will happen back to you. No. What I learned, karma is non-transactional. Karma is taking responsibility. If a customer is coming to you for dinner tonight, the customer is making a choice that you are the only person the customer will go to for dinner tonight. There's no backup plans. You rising to that level to fulfill that amazing responsibility the customer has given you is your customer karma. Customer karma is about connecting to the heart. There's no buying the customer's business. There's no shortcuts. I know we all want to have, for successful businesses, long-term connections with our customers. But to do that, do we have to get transactional and silly? Just imagine if I was single and all of you were my best friends, what would be your reaction if you realized that this is what Arjun is doing to get a date? I'm putting in a dating app, go out with me this weekend and I will buy a drink or dessert up to $9.99. And it just doesn't stop there. If you go out with me, I will give you a punch card. 5 dates with Arjun, free carnations. 10 dates, roses. And 15 dates, a box of Godiva chocolates. See? If you were my best friend, at that point, you must do an intervention and ask Arjun, how insecure and desperate are you? Why is your self-belief so low that you have to buy love? If that does not work in life, why are we doing that in the business? This whole world of loyalty, this word loyalty does not exist anywhere in relationships. Think, if I go to my wife today and say, honey, I have a loyalty program for you, I should get smacked right here. Loyalty builds based on we being present. Customer karma is the journey of seeing every customer every time, feeling who they are, being who they are, and then acting. I was working for this retirement home. And before I went and spoke to the board, I asked for a favor. I said, may I check into the home and spend at least one night there? They thought it was a very strange request. When I checked in, 2 things hit me hard. One, to check into the retirement home, you can walk in only with 2 pictures 4x6. Now think, if any one of you have to transfer, if any one of you have to take all your relationships and transition to only 2 4x6 pictures, that would start a war in each of our families. If I was forced to do that, I'm going to go with 2 blank pictures. The second, when I was laying down in bed, I realized because elderly residents have a propensity or a possibility to wet beds, they put every kind of plastic on those beds. which meant when I laid down and I turned left, I heard a sound. When I turned right, I heard a sound. Like I was scared to fall asleep because every sound was waking me up. I wish there was a wooden hammer or something I had to hit myself on the forehead to knock myself out to fall asleep. So next day when I met the board, I asked them a very simple question. How many of you have spent a night in any of your properties? Zip, zero, nada. And when I explained to them, they got it. For rest of you, you don't have to go and stay in a retirement home for a day. I have a very simple test for each one of you. When was the last time you spent a night in your guest bedroom and slept on the guest bed? My wife and myself chose to do it one night. And the moment we did that, we realized a few things. One, our guest bedroom bed is one of the most romantic beds ever. If you lay down towards the edge, you fall off the bed. And if you go somewhat towards the middle, it bends in, and it got us really close to each other. How cool is it? I think beds should be designed that way. And then early morning, we realized few of the blinds are not set properly, and the first rays of sun came in, hit the mirror, and hit me right in the eyes. None of this was intentional. My wife and myself, we are not cruel people doing this to our guests. We were not aware, we were oblivious because we were not putting ourselves in the position of our guests. So we fixed the blinds, changed the bed, and then marketing Arjun took over. I started sending text and emails to guests, friends who have come in last few years by saying, hey, very sorry for the inconvenience caused during your visit. Please come back and enjoy a new bed experience. Customer karma always starts with good intent, but only because we don't take time to see, feel, and do, we get oblivious. We ignore. Once you see and feel, your heart will guide you to the highest level, and that is what customer karma is. Customer karma is connecting to the heart of every customer every time. Just remember, even if you are in a retail store and there are 20 customers in line, you really have to serve one customer at a time. That way, when the customer stands in line but finally gets in front of you, that customer wants to feel 100% of attention, love, and care. That's what customer karma is, non-transactional love, where you put 100% of your effort, but start with see, feel, do.